everyone, welcome back. I'm Di, and today is the start of my November vlog. So it is Sunday, November 7th, and I have been filming already a couple things today. I've already filmed my October manga haul, and I just finished the first part of my November wrap-up vlog. I'm really enjoying doing the wrap-up vlogs or vlog style because it definitely helps me be able to edit those videos a lot faster, since I don't have to sit down and film everything and then get everything into the computer and then put it into the program and then edit it and then render it and then upload it to YouTube. And yeah, it's a lot of work. And when you have a spectacular reading month like I did myself in October, when reading 41 things, oh my gosh. Thankfully I did split out some of those into their own wrap-up videos, but still, it was a lot. It was a lot, and truthfully, I am not feeling the reading this month so far. I've only completed the Bleach Omnibus, so this is volume 7 by Tite Kubo. Volumes 19, 20, and 21 are included in this omnibus. I did really enjoy this. We ended our first arc. We started our next one. And I'm just really enjoying this journey. But this is all that I've read so far. I did give this one 5 stars, just so that you know. I have started Battle Cry, which is the second book in the Robotech series by Jack McKinney. And that one shouldn't be taking me as long as it is. I did start that one on November 1st. But yeah, we're 7 days into November and I haven't finished it. And I don't think that book is even 200 pages. So that's not great. I also started the, well, actually, I am enjoying what I'm reading. It's not really new stuff for me. There are a couple new scenes and things that I don't remember seeing in the animation, because it is a novelization of the animation, I believe. And the animated series I've seen a gazillion times. I know you've heard me say that before when I talked about reading the first book in this series a couple months ago. But yeah, it's familiar stuff, so it even more so shouldn't be taking me as long as it is taking me, but it is taking me a long time. So yeah, I did start the Book One Cozies Club selection, which is Guidebook to Murder, the first book in the Tourist Trap Mystery series by Lynn Cahoon. I am really enjoying that one. I decided to experience it on audiobook while I was doing that. So I've only done a Book One Cozies Club chapter by chapter via audiobook once before, since I started doing the chapter by chapters. This month is my 13th chapter by chapter. I have been doing chapter by chapters for a year. It's a bit hard to believe, but at the same time, I do believe it. The chapter by chapters definitely take a lot of work. And sometimes when the book is like so good that I just want to continue reading and I can't, it really bugs me. But I am really enjoying listening to the audiobook version of Guidebook to Murder. I borrowed it from Hoopla. So yeah, I was listening to the chapters and knitting on a sock for my dad. I'm doing some Christmas gift knitting, and I actually have the sock here to show you. So this is the first sock. So what is it with this angle? Here we go. So this is the first sock. And so it's just a plain, what we call vanilla socks. And it's just stockinette stitch all the way down to the heel. I did a slip stitch heel. I did my lightning toe, which is just a way of doing a rounded toe, just without so much of a distinctive tab here in the decrease area. And so yeah, that's sock 1. I am using a Regia Perfect So that looks like this. So you're supposed to be able to get 2 matching socks using this skein. And you can see there's this yellow, so it starts with the yellow, and then when you just knit until you change the colors, and then once you change colors, you start the leg, and then it automatically changes on its own. And then when you're done with your sock, you pull out the yarn until you get to yellow again, and then you pull out until it gets to this gray color again, and then you start your next cuff. So I have actually already done that, so you can see here I have the cuff. I've just started my first row of stockinette, and I am working them on 9-inch or 10-inch circular needles. 9-inch circular needles are a little bit more difficult for me to use, just because the circumference seems a lot more tiny just for 1 inch, but the 10-inch is definitely a lot more comfortable for me, and I'm not straining as much working on that circular circumference. But yeah, I've been really enjoying Guide Book to Murder so far. I've done 2 sections, or I've recorded my thoughts on 2 sections. This one's going to be a 5-section, chapter by chapter. And yeah, just really enjoying the audiobook, and I will be honest, there have been times where I enjoyed it a little too much and went 1 page past where I was supposed to stop, like I didn't hear the chapter 5, and something told me you should probably check that. And so I have a Kindle copy because I borrowed it from Kindle Unlimited as well. And so I went back and I checked, and yep, sure enough, I was still on that first page of chapter 5, so I had to stop. We are doing 4 chapters per section. The last section will be 5 chapters. So that's been going good. I have been doing that, not daily though, I will tell you that here. I normally do, when I record the chapter by chapters, I do them daily. And even when I recorded this one, I made it sound like it was daily, because I will be posting them daily once I start posting them. I always pre-record the chapter by chapters, or I get a head start at least. And so I decided to start this one early just because my reading has not been going well, and so I thought I better get an earlier head start. Normally I start about 3 days beforehand, but I decided to start 5 days beforehand. And seeing as I've started 5 days beforehand, we are 3 days away from when I start posting them. I've only recorded 2 sections. It's a good thing that I started a little bit earlier. But I am enjoying that book. I was a little bit concerned at the very beginning because our main character wasn't very likable the first few lines of the first chapter, but that has since gone away, and I am enjoying the experience so far. So that's been going well. I am wearing my Arachne, which I showed off to you in last month's vlog at the end, and like I said, it fits really well. I will stand up a little bit so that you can see it a little bit better. I still haven't blocked it though, so it is scrunching a little bit in here, but yes. You can see where I caught this silver yarn, but that's okay. I am not fussed about that. And then my sleeves are, let me go, which way? This way. Are 3/4 length. So yes, it was a good decision to make it 3/4 lengths because it is not cold yet. Our temperatures are bouncing back and forth between mid-70s and high 80s. It is supposed to be 88 degrees next weekend. I am not happy. But that is why I chose to do this particular garment in a wool and bamboo blend, because it would be more comfortable for this time of year where I am. And also that is also why I did the 3/4 length sleeves instead of the full length. But I'm very happy with it. It fits really well. It's nice and comfortable. The only thing I'm concerned about with this yarn is the amount of pilling. So that's when the fabric rubs against each other and creates those little balls of fluff. I did notice that while I was knitting on this garment, it pilled quite a bit, and so yeah, I'm just gonna have to see how it wears and hope that the pilling is not extreme. But I'm very happy with the garment. It looks great. I'm over the moon. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to lately besides playing Animal Crossing. The update came out on Friday, the 5th, which actually was also my daughter's birthday. And so we've just been on the island, cleaning up the island, doing our captain tours, and just enjoying playing Animal Crossing again. We did take a break for a while just because it seemed like everything was the same. There was nothing to do. We let our island get overrun with flowers, so there's flowers everywhere. And so yeah, we're doing a bit of remodeling and island restructuring and things like that. And so it's been busy. It's been busy in that regard, but I've been enjoying it. And with the amount of reading that I did in the month of October, being able to just lose myself in a game for hours is a nice experience. So yeah, I do have quite a lot of reading to get done this month, considering my TBR game gave me more books than I normally have. But I'm hoping that I'm going to have the last 2 weeks of November off. I normally do take the last 2 weeks of November off just to recharge, because the month of December is very, very busy. It's the busiest for my workplace, my office. I do not work retail, but just in the industry that I work in, it is very, very busy in the month of December. So yeah, I always take off the last 2 weeks of November just to recharge, get my stress down, and yeah, so I'm hoping to have that, and maybe that'll help me with my reading. But so far my reading has been next to nothing this month. But that's pretty much all I have for you for this check-in. I will be back with you a little later to check in with you again, but I hope you're all having a good one, and I'll talk to you later. Hi everyone, it is Sunday, November 14th, and I am not happy. It is warm today. It is 91 or 92 degrees today. I do have the fans on. I'm not a happy camper. You know this. I do not enjoy the heat wave we are having. Next week, it's supposed to get down into the 70s though, so I've just got to deal with one more day of warmer temperatures, and then it should be back into the 70s, but I am hating this weather. Other than that, as far as reading goes, I have only finished one book since I talked to you last, and I haven't even done my wrap up for it because I'm reading another book in the same series. I'm reading these books for New Worlds November, which is the month-long short sci-fi readathon that the Bookish Bryants are hosting. The Bookish Bryants are co-hosts for March Mystery Madness, so I definitely wanted to help support them and read some sci-fi because it's not something that I read often. And so I decided to read the two following books in the Robotech series. You know, earlier this year I read book 1 in the Robotech series, and it's a story that I'm very familiar with. Like I've said, I've watched the animated series several times growing up. It is definitely a favorite in my family. And in fact, I just picked up the Blu-ray edition of the animated series because it was released in Blu-ray recently, and it also came with digital copies. So yeah, I got those. I've been reading through the Robotech books. I've only finished one of them so far, so I finished book 2, which is Battle Cry, and like I said, I'm very familiar with this story. There are a couple things that were different that I don't remember being in the anime. Some things happened a little differently, but nonetheless, I still enjoyed it, and I'm currently about 75% down with book 3, which is Homecoming. I really should have had these done by last weekend, or last week. yesterday. But I'm just having a really tough time reading. I'm not wanting to read. Not that I'm not enjoying everything I'm reading. I'm just not prioritizing reading. It's not something that I'm gravitating towards at the moment. And I think it's because I read so much in October that I'm kind of going into a reading slump. That being said, I do have my manga club meeting this Thursday, the 18th, and I haven't read those mangas yet. So I think today, sometime in the next few days, I'm going to have to read the manga club selection. So that's 4 volumes of manga. And if you want to break down the omnibuses, that's actually going to be 6 volumes of manga total, because 2 of those are series read as omnibuses. And so, yeah, I really want to get Homecoming done before I jump into the manga, since I only have a little bit left. And this particular installment, I believe we're going to have 1 or 2 character deaths. I can't remember if it's going to be 1 or 2 based on where we are in the book versus what I remember from the animated series, but we're going to have at least 1, I'm pretty sure. And so, yeah, I'm just having a really hard time reading. And it's not the month to be having that, because I do have lots of things to read. I actually had to write a list this month, and I have been crossing off the things to read because I kept forgetting what I had on my plate. That's how like frazzled I am. So not only am I not wanting to read at the moment, I'm really stressed out. Work is very stressful. This past week I had to work alone at the office, so I was the only one taking care of everything one of the days. And it was no fun. And then the week before that, I had stuff that the other employees at my office had left me. And it's like, well, why couldn't you do that? So I had 10,000 things to do last Monday. And the week just continued to be poor the whole week. So I think that's probably contributing to the fact that I am not interested in reading, because I've been spending so much time reading things for the office. On my day-to-day work, I do read a lot of things. And yeah, I'm just not into it. Plus, we've been playing a lot more Animal Crossing. With the new update, there's a lot of stuff to do. My daughter and I haven't played Animal Crossing for a little bit, just because there weren't any new things to do, and we had already gotten all of our villagers' pictures. And yeah, it was just, there was no like goal. There was nothing to achieve anymore. And so we kind of let our islands go, and we went back on because of the update. There's a ton of things to do now, and our island is full of flowers. There are flowers everywhere, so we have to go and clean all of that up. So yeah, I've just been really interested in playing Animal Crossing. I'm still playing Gems of War, which is a puzzle game that I introduced you to a couple months ago, I think. I showed a clip of you playing that. It's like a match 3 tournament style game on the Switch, and so we're still playing that. I'm not even finding a lot of time to do any knitting lately. I did listen to the Book One Cozy's Club selection, which, did I finish that since the last time I talked to you? I think I did finish that since the last time I talked to you. So I did finish that as well. So that was Guidebook to Murder, the first book in the Tourist Trap Mystery series by Lynn Cahoon. I just finished filming my Book One Cozy's Club series First Impressions video. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed that one. We'll definitely be continuing it. I'm going to give that one 4 stars. I haven't actually put the rating up on Goodreads yet, because I don't like to put a rating or a review before my series First Impressions video goes out, or at least until the chapter by chapters finish posting, because I just don't like to give away my thoughts before some people can, hear them if they're listening to the chapter by chapters. And so, yeah, I haven't actually put up my review on Goodreads yet, but it's going to get 4 stars for sure. Really, really enjoyed that experience. Listened to the entire thing on audiobook, and I knitted on my dad's Christmas present while I was doing it. I am knitting him a pair of socks. I'm pretty sure I had shared that with you in October, but I had finished up the second sock, and I finished up the first sock, and I'm working away on the second one. So I am on the foot right now. And yeah, I'm not finding a lot of time to knit either, because I can't knit and play Animal Crossing. I can't knit and read unless I'm listening to an audiobook. And the Robotech books don't have audiobooks. So yeah, speaking of audiobooks, I did start Solo Leveling, Volume 1, which I didn't even bring here to share because that's how frazzled my brain is at the moment. But I'll put a picture up here. I am listening to the audiobook as well on that one, just during my lunch breaks, during the work day. I haven't actually read any of the text, even though I have a physical copy, but I kind of want to see what the experience will be, so I want to read some of the text because I feel like some of that will come across differently from how it's being presented in the audiobook. I also have the manhwa, so I want to check that out as well when I'm done reading this first installment. So I've got a lot of things on my plate to do. I'm not finding the motivation to do it. There are just certain things that I'm gravitating towards right now, and it's not reading. And so, yeah, I mean, it's okay. I'm not, like, feeling a lot of pressure to read, but I'm just disappointed that I'm not in the mood to read, because there's a part of me that really wants to read, but then the part of me that's like, no, let's just play a video game, or, let's watch some television is pulling at me more. And I really think that has to do with how stressful it's been for me lately at the office. That being said, this is my last work week for the rest of November. I always take off the week of Thanksgiving and the week after every year because the month of December going into January is the busiest time of the year for my office and my desk. The things that I do for my office, a majority of our clients have things going on in the month of December, going into the very beginning of January. So that's why I'm not allowed to take vacation during December. So I always take it at the very end of November, and if the last week of November includes the first couple days of December, that's still okay. But I am going on vacation, and I cannot wait. So maybe I'll get my reading mojo back. Hopefully I will, because I still have a lot of things that I need to read looking at my list. Especially for my Rotating Decks TBR game. That's probably the most important, just because I had a little bit extra in my game for the month of November. But yeah, that's pretty much all that's been going on with me. Like I said, it's been warm, I've been unhappy, I've been stressed, but temperatures should be going down. This is my last week in the office for the rest of the month, so hopefully my stress level will also come down, and I'm really looking forward to that because I need it. Other than that, I don't think there's much else going on. Oh, let me share with you my shirt. So this is another one of those shirts I got on Etsy, and it says my weekend is booked, and it's got a stack of books. So I am still really enjoying these like graphic tee things from Etsy, and yeah, so it's going into the holiday season. It's not feeling very festive at the moment due to warm temperatures, but we're getting there. We're getting there. And that's pretty much all I have for a check-in for you today. So I hope you're all doing well, and I'll check back with you in a bit.
So I have decided to do my nails this afternoon. I just finished filming my vlog clip for today, so it's still November 14th, Sunday, and yeah, my nails were needing a freshen up, so I think I'm going to go with these three. I'm going to do a dip polish again, and so I've decided on Rocky Mountain High. I believe this is more of a chocolatey brown color. Thought would be nice for fall. And then I have Take a Gamble, which is, I wish it was this color, but it's not. It's more of like a creamy sparkle. So I'm going to do one layer of this for an accent nail, and then one layer of this, which is gold glitter. And so, yeah, I've already prepped my nails, and so I'll be back to show you later what they look like when I'm done. So I have finished my nails, and they look like this. It is a dark chocolatey brown, and the gold glitter is very sparkly. This is the first time I used the gold glitter. It was a new purchase, and I wasn't sure how opaque it was going to be, but like I said, I did one coat of the other gold one. I can't remember what it's called now. And then I did one coat of the gold glitter. And it looks like next time I use the gold glitter, I'll be using one coat of gold glitter and one coat of clear, because it is textured. There is texture to it. And even though the shiny coat is thick, it's hard to gauge how much coat to put or you put on when you're applying it, because you can't really see because this gold is so sparkly. But I'm really liking that look, and this is a dark chocolatey brown. It kind of looks black to the screen, but yeah. So I'm fairly happy with how that turned out. This should last me through Thanksgiving, and then it'll be time for Christmas festive nail looks. So yeah, I'm excited for that too, but just wanted to get on here and share what the finished look looked like with you, and that's about it. So I will be back later.
Hi everyone, it is Monday, November 22nd, and I am on vacation. That is right, I am on vacation. So I always take annual vacation the last couple weeks of November, so the week of Thanksgiving and then the week after that. Just because for my occupation and my desk, December is one of the most hectic, stressful, busiest months in my industry. And so I think I've told you before, I don't work retail, but we have a bunch of clients that have needs that need to be taken care of at the end of the year. And so that's why what I do, and my desk especially, because my specialization deals with these things that my clients need taken care of by the end of the year. It's just so stressful. And I've told you before how stressful my job has been just on a normal basis, and that is so unusual. I don't know what it is about this year, if I'm just getting old and I just can't handle it anymore. My body is just like, forget it, you're done doing stuff like this. Or if there's just so much more need from the clients. But I think it's a little bit of everything. I know definitely the need for the clients has been increased because things are getting a lot stricter. Lots of companies are asking for more and more things, which is putting pressure on our clients to get those things. Not only that, but to spend extra money for those things. And yeah, it's just been a really stressful year, the most stressful year I think I've had since I've worked for my company, which has been a long time. And so, yes, I am very happy to be on vacation right now. So, what did I do on my first day of vacation? I went to the car dealership. Yeah. So, I was leasing my vehicle. My lease was up at the end of December, and since I was on vacation, I decided I'm just going to take care of it right now and not have to deal with it. So I ended up buying out my lease, and so I was at the car dealership today for what I thought was going to be an hour, maybe an hour and a half thing, and that turned into a 3-hour thing. And yes, I almost got sideswiped by 2 big rigs on the way to the dealership. It was very, very stressful. I was there for much longer than I thought I was going to be, and without any food. So, yeah, they ended up having to buy me food because I really wasn't feeling very well. I was getting lightheaded. I was nauseous because by the time they were starting to wrap things up, I hadn't eaten for like 5 hours. And so if I knew it was going to take that long, I would have brought something. But my mom had gone through this before at the same dealership, like 4 years ago. And she told me she remembered it being pretty quick. Well, pretty quick isn't 3 hours. So yeah, I'm finally glad to get that done. It was really, really strange because at the dealership, where I'm used to seeing a lot full of vehicles, the dealership was almost empty. There was like 10 cars in the lot, and that's it. And so, yeah. Thankfully, I didn't have to deal with any other salespeople. I have my normal salesperson that we've been dealing with for a while, and so that was great, but it was just a stressful situation all around. And so, since it took a lot more time during the day than I thought it was going to, I thought I was going to have time to film all of these videos today, and so yeah, I'm trying to get those done now. This is the last video that I'm going to film for tonight, but like, it's the end of the month push. I've got all of these videos I need to upload, and I don't know when I'm going to do it because I kind of have set upload days. I don't announce it because I don't want to be held to those days. But if you followed me for a little bit, you've noticed that I'll post videos on Saturdays, usually. My second channel, my yarn channel, where I talk about my knitting, I will post my Yarny updates, which is kind of like my monthly wrap up of all of my knitting projects, on like the first or second Sunday of the month. So that's kind of the day I leave open for those videos. I obviously have my chapter by chapters for Book One Cozies Club, which are daily uploads starting from the 10th till however long it takes to finish the book. And then on Mondays, if I have manga content to post, I post those on Mondays because Manga Monday. But if I don't have content to post on Mondays, I don't. And then anything extra that I want to post, whether it be manga or booktube, I will post those on Wednesdays. So I kind of have a little bit of a schedule to tell me where to upload, what to upload, when, and things like that. But I don't ever advertise it. I'm telling you because if you're watching my vlog, that means that you're probably most interested in what I do, and so you get little extra information. But yeah, I just filmed 4 videos. I think 4 videos. I filmed my manga first impressions video for the Monochrome Manga Club. I did the series first impressions video on Solo Leveling, which is going to take up another Monday. I'm doing a manga advent calendar project, which I just filmed an announcement video for. So maybe that'll go up on Wednesday. And I filmed my wrap-up vlog entry. Yeah, so I've got a little bit of figuring out. I've got a lot of editing to do. And yeah, starting off my vacation with lots of stress. But that's okay. I'm glad to be on vacation. But since I have you here and I'm telling you what I film videos for, let me tell you where I am with my reading, because that's what you're here for pretty much, right? So like I said, we did our Monochrome Manga Club meeting last Thursday, so that was the 18th. So we read Blue Period Volume 1 and Kiss Him Not Me Volume 1, and I gave Blue Period 3 stars. I gave Kiss Him Not Me 4 stars. I did film a manga first impressions video, so if you're interested in more of my thoughts on those 2 installments, definitely check that out. I'll link that down in the description box below. I also mentioned that I did a manga or a series first impressions video on Solo Leveling. So this is a light novel by Chugong. It is a light novel because it is a novel. There aren't any pictures in here. Sometimes light novels will have pictures, but this one pretty much only has the pretty like chapter pages, and that's just like texture. It's like wallpaper. There's no other art in here except for the very opening page, which is this. So this is our main character here. So I read through the light novel, and I listened to a majority of the light novel from its audiobook, which is narrated by Ki-Hong Lee. And if that name sounds familiar to you, he played Minho in the Maze Runner movies, and I really enjoyed his narration. I gave this one 4 stars. I also read the manhwa version, which is a full color graphic novel. This only takes up a third of what's in here, and I really enjoyed this as well, but I will be continuing the story in the light novel and audiobook formats. I ended up giving this one 4 stars as well. If you'd like to hear me talk about more of my thoughts on this series, definitely check out my series first impressions video, which I'll link down in the comments below. But I'm really enjoying that one, and definitely interested to see how that one's going to continue, because I feel like there are some things that should be coming up in that series that I'm really interested in seeing how that all plays out. As far as other things that I'm in the middle of right now, or actually next that, I also finished the Robotech book. So I think I might have mentioned to you I finished the second Robotech book the last time I talked to you, which was Battle Cry, and both of the Robotech books are by Jack McKinney. And then last night I finished Homecoming, which is the 3rd book in that series. This follows our Veritech fighters and the crew of the SDF-1 in their fight against the alien race Zentradi. It's a story that I'm really familiar with, as I've said before, and so I'm really enjoying reading these novelizations. There's just little bits and pieces of things that aren't in the animated series. Like in the 3rd book, there is a character death, and I feel like in the animation, the character death wasn't explained very well, and I feel in the novelization it was done better, because there was always something about that scene in the animation that I was like, wait, what happened? And that could be just based on the fact that I experienced that scene for the first time when I was a kid. I didn't really understand what was going on, but I watched that recently. Like, I think it was earlier this year, or maybe last year. And I still feel like they kind of glossed over what happened on that character death. But in the book, they give a little bit of extra to it. And I really, really appreciated that. I feel a little bit more complete. Like, my questions, I don't have any other questions about what happened to this character. And yeah, it's just little pieces of information like that that are added to the novelization that makes it just that little bit more interesting, and it keeps me reading it, because otherwise, like I said, it's a story that I know very well. I wouldn't need to read the novelization if it wasn't for those little Easter eggs that I'm finding in the narration. And so I'm really, really enjoying experiencing that story in a different format. I ended up giving both of those books 4 stars. Now, as far as what I'm reading right now, I am I have read a little bit of Dead Until Dark, the first book in the Sookie Stackhouse series by Charlaine Harris. I took this to the dealership with me and was reading while I was waiting for all the paperwork. I am up to page 170, so I'm past the 100 page mark for my TBR game, which is great. I'm really, really enjoying this one. There's a lot of, like, vampire attacks happening that I wasn't really expecting, and I'm enjoying that content a lot. And then I am also 94 pages into the Phantom Tollbooth. I started listening to this on audiobook yesterday, just because this has been a book that I've read before. It's one that I'm still pretty knowledgeable about. Like, I still feel like I remember a lot of what happens in the story. But the audiobook is very interesting. There's a little bit of a foreword by the author, which, if you have not read this book, I definitely would say skip that little foreword, because there are spoilers in that foreword. And it definitely shouldn't have been something that is presented at the beginning of the book for someone who had never experienced this story before. So this book has a map, which I didn't notice before, and there are illustrations. I'm trying to see if the foreword is in here. So the foreword is not. There isn't an appreciation post by the illustrator. No. There is an appreciation post by Maurice Sendak, but that is not in the audiobook. I can tell you that the foreword from Norton Juster talks about his idea coming up with the Phantom Tollbooth, and then getting Jules Pfeiffer on board to do the illustrations, and how the illustrator kind of took his idea and changed things around because he didn't like drawing certain things and things like that. But it, like, specifically tells you about certain scenes, and if you haven't experienced this series before, I would definitely say skip it, because spoilers. But I'm really enjoying experiencing this on the audiobook, or from the audiobook, and yeah, it's a really fast listen. I'm enjoying the illustrations, and I'm looking forward to completing this. I also recently picked up the DVD of the movie adaptation for that. I'd seen it a couple times, I think, growing up, but my daughter hasn't, and so I'm looking forward to sharing that with her. Speaking of things that I've picked up, I also picked up Rad, which is a BMX bike racing movie from the 80s. My brother loves that movie, and he's been looking all over for it. And when we talked to him a couple weeks ago, because it was my daughter's birthday, he had mentioned that he had picked up the Blu-ray, and I was like, wait, what? And so I went to go pick that up as well. I didn't bring them over here to share them with you, but yeah, I picked those up. And as far as my TBR game goes, I'm doing pretty good. like I said, it is the 22nd, so I have a week and a day until the month is over. Where did I put the other book? Did I not bring it out here? I must not have brought it out here, but I've got one more book that I need to read, or read 100 pages from, before the end of the month, in order to not pull a punishment on my TBR game. So I think I'm okay. I haven't filmed my TBR game yet, but that's on the list of things to do this week. And other than that, that's pretty much it. Oh, no, I take that back. I bought a computer. So, I have a very old laptop, and I thought, I'm a little bit more financially stable now. I've got some money that I could spend. And so I looked into a new computer, and I happened to find an early Black Friday deal. And so I picked up an all-in-one computer from Dell. Now, Dell is a computer company that I've worked with for a long time because all of our computers at the office are Dell. All of the computers that we have always ordered from for my office before my company was bought by the company that I work for now were Dell. And I was the one putting in those orders with Dell. So it's a company that I've done a lot of business with, and so I was very secure in my decision about buying a computer from them. I've not had any issues with any of the computers I have ordered for my office from Dell, and the shipping has been great, customer service has been great, and so I am hoping to have my new computer delivered next week, Thursday, which is December 2nd. So yeah, that is exciting. It's been a while since I purchased a new computer for home use. And I'm looking forward to it. Plus, it's a desktop, so it'll be a little bit easier to do, like, editing, I think, because even though the laptop is kind of more portable, the finger thing gets a little bit difficult sometimes. And I know I can plug in a wireless mouse, but I'm just too lazy. But since I've got an all-in-one computer, I should be able to just move that unit wherever I need it to be in the house and still have that portability, because I don't ever do anything outside of the house with the computer. Not even when I go traveling do I take the laptop. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to having a new computer. Kind of my Christmas present to myself, if you will. And yeah, so that is nope. Other than that, we've watched some movies. We've watched Shang-Chi. I think that's it. The new Marvel movie on Disney Plus. Really, really enjoyed that one. We watched The Jungle Cruise, the new one, or the one with Dwayne Johnson. Really enjoyed that as well. We watched Red Notice, which also has Dwayne Johnson. That was really good. And now we're watching through Harry Potter, just because it's something we do every year. And even with everything that's going on with that author, I still enjoy seeing how the kids in that movie grow up. And yeah, when we're done with that, we will be watching The Lord of the Rings, because that is also something that we watch every year around this time of the year. And so, yeah, that will do it for me today. So I have just a little bit over a week till the end of the month. I will be checking in with you one more time before the end of the month to let you know how everything ended up, what I ended up doing and reading between now and then. So I will talk to you later. Hi everyone, it is Tuesday, November 30th. It is the last day of the month, and I am here to wrap up this vlog. So let's talk about the books that I finished up, and then we'll move into some of the things that I have been doing since I talked to you last. So I did go ahead and decide to DNF Lost in a Good Book. This is the second book in the Thursday Next series by Jasper Fforde. I read 105 pages of this and I just wasn't enthused about picking it up. I do kind of remember that The Air Affair was kind of a bit of a meh read for me, but I still gave it 4 stars, I think. It has a lot to do with the fact that this story, in its 100 pages, didn't really have anything going on. Like, the back of the book says that she has to go in to pose Raven to do something, and we're not even there yet, 105 pages in. She gets herself into a bit of trouble. She gushes a lot about her husband, and that's pretty much it. I mean, we meet some of her quirky family, and yeah, I'm not really interested in what's going on in the book at this point. I don't know how many more pages I have to read before things kind of start getting interesting. I know based on the summary that something interesting is supposed to happen, but I just don't know how much more I need to put into this book to get there. And truthfully, I don't know if I'm wanting to put in the time and effort to do that. So as of right now, I'm putting this book on the DNF list. Now, things that I DNF aren't really hard and fast. Like, they're not set in cement, I would say. Unless I have really strong feelings about why I'm DNFing it. In this case, I'm not really here nor there on this one. I could definitely pick this one up at a later time. Maybe I'm just not in the mood for something like this right now. That's always a possibility, but as of right now, this is not doing it for me. So I'm going to DNF it. Plus the fact that I am super glad that I read Rebecca earlier this year by Daphne du Maurier, because there is a major endgame spoiler in the first 105 pages, and it's like a spoiler that's just dropped, and it spoils the entirety of Rebecca in like 5 words or less. So, yeah, there was also something mentioned in that same breath about Tess Duberville's, which I haven't read, but I'm almost positive that what was spilled there in 5 words or less was also an endgame spoiler. So yeah, as someone who doesn't read a lot of classics, I'm a little bit scared to continue. Not that I'm very interested in a lot of classics, but I could pick up one at any time, and I don't want to be spoiled if it's something, that I haven't read. So there's that as well. So yeah, DNFing this. That's a long way of saying that I'm going to DNF that. But the book that I did finish was Dead Until Dark by Charlaine Harris. This is the first book in the Sookie Stackhouse series. Obviously, the TV show True Blood is based on this book series. I have watched the first season of True Blood and a few episodes. I watched it a few years ago. And yeah, I just kind of stopped watching it because there were a lot of sexy times in the TV show. And there are quite a few sexy times in this book as well. But with the book, it's easier to fast forward. To skip over those parts than it is to fast forward the TV show. So I did really enjoy this. The mystery element of it was really good. I had no idea who the culprit was in the murders until we got there. That was very surprising. I did enjoy seeing Sookie kind of exploring the vampire world and learning about the hierarchy system and how vampires kind of work in this world. I did enjoy that as well. There are some tougher elements in regards to Sookie's past, so those were a little bit hard to read, and something else happens in here that was also hard to read. But all in all, I really enjoyed this book. I'll definitely be continuing. It is a series that I have several books in my personal library of, because I've been picking them up at library book sales and secondhand bookshops for a while, intending on reading the series, and I just never did. So I'm glad I started this. Definitely one of the perks of having my TBR game, and one of the reasons why I put in prompts like specific series, because they're series that I really want to get to. I just don't ever gravitate towards them for one reason or another, and so definitely glad to have started that one. What am I reading right now? I am reading Kingdom Keepers, Disney After Dark by Ridley Pearson. I love this cover. It's so holographic. You might have heard me say in my TBR video that I have read this one before. I picked it up to read when we took my daughter to Disney World for her 10th birthday celebration. And I read it on that trip. I really enjoyed it then, but I can't really remember what happened. So I am 78 pages into this book right now. I actually was able to pick up a copy of the audiobook on Audible for like $3 because I do own a ebook copy of this as well, so it was a discounted Audible price, and so I'm really enjoying listening to that as well. The second book though is not available as an audiobook, and I don't think the third is either, so I'm a little bit surprised and a little bit disappointed because I would definitely pick up the audiobooks. I'm loving this world, obviously, because it happens at Disney World, and there are characters that have already been mentioned that I'm really familiar with. And so this one follows our main character, what is his name? Finn? And he kind of auditions for a role with Disney. Obviously, that's going to be a big thing if he gets it. But this particular one is to be like a holographic guide in the park. So they're recording whoever they hire to turn them into holograms to take groups on guided tours in the parks. And I just think that's such an interesting thing. Like, why don't they have those? But anyway, he gets the job, and one night when he goes to sleep, he is visited by someone who works in the park, and I can't remember what his name is. But the guy that he meets, oh, his name is Wayne. It says he's an elderly Imagineer who tells him that the park is in grave danger. And he basically tells Finn that he needs to gather the other kids that were hired to become these holographic guides. And they need to save Disney World from the grave danger that it's in. And it basically has to do with the fact that after dark, the characters from the rides come to life and wreak havoc. And so these kids need to be the ones to stop it, because they all have this ability where after they go to sleep, they awaken in their dreams in Disney World, and they're able to do things like as if they were there in real life. So yeah, I'm really enjoying rereading this. I don't remember a lot about it. I did remember the holographic guide element, but that's pretty much it. It does tell you, I think, on the back here which characters are wreaking havoc, but I won't tell you in case you don't want to be spoiled. And I am really looking forward to finishing this one and continuing on with this series, because again, it's another one where I read the first book and just never went to the next ones. It kind of has to do with the fact that I think I picked this one up when it was published, or around that time. This one was published in 2005, and so actually it was published a few years before my daughter's 10th birthday, but yeah. obviously. Duh. It's a paperback copy. Of course it was published before we took my daughter to Disney World. In any case, I really enjoyed this, and so I'm looking forward to continuing that one, and that one will probably carry over into December. And so, yeah, I've got a lot of reading plans for December. I will be opening up my first Advent calendar tag tonight. Really looking forward to that, especially because at the beginning of the month I'm usually kind of in a gray area with my reading, because I start the Book One Cozies Club a few days into the month, Book One Cozies Club selection a few days into the month, and I don't really want to start anything else that'll overlap with that. So this will be nice because I have something to read, plus I have Kingdom Keepers to keep me occupied until I do start the first Book One Cozies Club selection. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into the holiday reads. So what have I been doing lately? I am on my second week of vacation. It has been really, really nice. I really, really needed this. I'm definitely feeling a lot better. I am not having so many chest pains or headaches or palpitations, because I've just been having a terrible time with those. I would say the last month or so, I've just been super stressed out and I've not been having a good time. I really, really needed this time off. So I'm having a great relaxing time other than what happened yesterday. So I did mention to you, I think in the previous clip, that I went ahead and bought myself a new computer. It was supposed to come in tomorrow. No, 2 days from now. So December 2nd was the scheduled delivery date. And it actually arrived yesterday, so November 29th. So I was so excited. So I pulled it out of the box. I started setting it up. And I'm pretty computer savvy, I would say. I know my way around a computer, but this computer came with Windows 11. And Windows 11 is very, very new. According to somebody I talked to, which I'll get into that later, Windows 11 just came out in October. And I really dislike picking up things that are super brand new in regards to electronics, because there's always kinks to be worked out. But kind of just went with the flow with this computer. I thought, I'm getting a new one. I should get one that's up to date. I didn't realize that Windows 11 was so new. I thought it had come out at the beginning of the year, and obviously I was wrong. But I work on a Windows 10 computer for work. My office computer is a Windows 10. And Windows 11 is a bit different. It's really like more app based. I was talking to a service guy. Like I said, I'll get into that in a bit. But he had mentioned that it was made to be more simple and easier to use, and I guess that's in regards to people who are up and coming, who haven't really had experience with computers, who are more used to playing on their phone, using tablets and things like that, because there are so many more app-based things on the computer as opposed to programs. So anyway, I knew what I was going to use this computer for, and I just put on my video editing software, which I bought a video editing suite, and so I'm really looking forward to using that. It's the upgraded version of what I have been using on my old computer, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of extra enhancements I can do with that, plus having a faster speed to render my videos, and this can actually upload straight to YouTube, which is going to take one of the steps out for me. So I'm really, really looking forward to using that. So I had that. I had OBS Studio for sometimes when I do screen captures and things. And then I tried to download Apache OpenOffice. And I've been using OpenOffice for a very, very long time. I, in fact, use it on my laptop that I've been using to edit videos for the entire time that I've been on YouTube. And I really enjoy it. And it's free. But when I tried to download that and install it to my computer, the download went fine. The installation, something happened. And from that point, things just started going downhill. I don't know what happened with the installation of OpenOffice, but it screwed everything up. Like, I tried to download Adobe Reader so that I'd have a PDF viewer, and that wouldn't install. It said that I had a version already on my computer, which I didn't. I looked everywhere to see. I looked in the programs, there was nothing, and yeah, so I don't know what happened there. I tried to download a different, like, document suite from the Microsoft Store, because that's kind of where they want you to pull your programs from, and that wouldn't install. And so I spent a good day working on that computer trying to figure out what was going on. And yeah, I ended up calling support this morning, and it took an hour to get everything fixed. I actually had to roll it back to factory settings, which is fine because I didn't have anything important on there anyway. But now I've spent a good chunk of time setting up the new computer. It's good to go now, but I still have to do this video and my wrap-up video for November on my old computer, because those files won't transfer to the new computer. I don't know why. I'll put it on like a SD card, and it like corrupts getting from the computer to the SD card. And so I'm just gonna edit this video and the last video for my wrap-up on the old computer, and then start fresh in December. But I'm really happy to have a new computer. I got an all-in-one version, so it kind of looks like an iMac, with the monitor and everything is already in that one unit. And yeah, it's supposed to be faster. It has like 1 terabyte of memory, and I should be good to go. So I'm really looking forward to getting some playtime in with that. But at the same time, because that bit of stress, I'm looking forward to winding down this evening and doing a little bit of knitting and playing some Animal Crossing, and yeah, getting to my first reads of December after midnight, because I am going to pull it after midnight. But that's pretty much all I've been up to. I did some shopping for Black Friday. I supported some small businesses on Small Business Saturday. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I think I will end this vlog here. Let me know what you are up to in the month of November, what your most fun or memorable moment in November was. I do realize right now that I glanced over Thanksgiving. But for us, Thanksgiving is a real, like, kind of small, kind of everyday day. It's just me, my daughter, and my mom, and we do pick up a little bit of fancier foods to eat. We've been doing prime rib on Thanksgiving, and so we did that. My mom makes this dessert called Lemon Delight, which is kind of like a lemon pie with like this cream cheese and whipped cream topping, and so we had that for dessert. My mom made some mochi stuffing, which is just like Asian sticky rice, with some water chestnuts and like bacon in it. And then we had leftovers for days. we had leftovers for days. And so it's been good. I really, really enjoyed the prime rib that we picked up this time. We decided to pick up a pre-seasoned one this year, and so we didn't have to do all the pre-seasoning ourselves or anything like that, and so that was really nice. And yeah, so now that's pretty much it. I think I've covered everything. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below what your most memorable thing from November was, or a fun thing that you did, a fun pickup that you made, or a purchase that you made that you're really looking forward to getting. I would really love to know, and if nothing else, and you would just like to let me know that you were here, if you could leave me a snowflake emoji down in the comments below. That would be greatly appreciated and would really help me out, and that will do it for me for November. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.